So many parents have this problem, right? The problem is you have a student athlete that has the athletic ability to play at the college level. This is a high school athlete. This is an athlete that you see that they're willing to put in the work, they're training, they're eating proper, they're doing all the right things in order to generate exposure because they want to play at the college level, whether that's Division One, Division Two, Division Three, doesn't matter. They have the desire to compete. These are the athletes that I have in our facility. These are the athletes that I've been blessed enough to work with for the last 20 years. These are the athletes that show up early. These are the athletes that when they walk in, no one even recognizes them. No one really gives them a lot of credit, but they show up day after day and they work and they work and they work until they accomplish that goal, until they become that person. So I'll give you a quick story. Brandon Marshall is one of my athletes that came to my program, I want to say around his sophomore year of high school. So being a sophomore in high school, of course, we're thinking, okay, this is a good kid, good athlete. But when he walked in, there was nothing special about him. There was nothing that made us go, man, this kid is going to the NFL. No, we just saw a kid that was willing to work hard, that showed up and was consistent and got the job done day after day after day. And ultimately, he became a Division One athlete. He didn't start as that, but he became that over the course of 2, 3 years of training and development. And then we got to see the same athlete with 2 scholarship offers. He had 2 Division One offers. And once we narrowed down that college, which I was a part of that process and just kind of helping his family look at the pros and cons and things like that. So once we went through that process and he chose Nevada Reno as the university he wanted to go play football at, it was great because I got to really see in real life, in real time, what work ethic, what discipline, what consistency looks like, and what it can accomplish. So Brandon was one of those athletes that had that. And I have more stories like that. He wasn't the only one. But my point to this is if you have an athlete, you're the parent of an athlete, and this is the mindset that they have. They have the work ethic, they have the discipline, they have the focus, they have the drive, they have all that good stuff. If they have that, it's your responsibility to make sure they're in a position to get that scholarship or that opportunity to play at the college level. It's yours. They're 14, 15, 16 years old. They don't know. They don't realize the magnitude. All they have is a dream and a vision. They wake up Saturday morning, they're watching college sports, and they're saying, I want to do that. So whose responsibility is it to get them to that level? I'm going to tell you, it's both. They need to be putting in the work ethic, the discipline, all that good stuff. But as a parent, you got to help. You have to make sure they're in a position. You have to provide the resources. And the resources aren't always just about money. The resource can be time. It can be how you engage with them. It could be you keeping them motivated. It could be you getting them with the right trainer or making sure they're in the right school, in the right program. It also could be you going online and researching colleges that have the sport that your athlete plays, whether it's volleyball, football, basketball, whatever it may be, looking at it. Are they a Division One? Are they a Division Two? What's the requirements to get into the school? What's the GPA? This is the research. When I say provide resources, this is what I'm saying. This is your responsibility, not the athletes, not the high school coach, not the club coach. That's not their job. No one hired the high school coach and said, hey, your job here is to get a bunch of kids scholarships. No, your job is to win. That's the coach's job. Now, winning sometimes can equate to scholarship offers and things like that, but that's not their sole job. If you have a coach that's helping with recruiting, great. Hats off to him or to them, because that's a good coach. That's a coach that I like. A coach that says, I'm going to help. I'm going to take it the extra step to help get you this scholarship. So my point to all this is this. If your athlete has that level of potential, do not do them a disservice by not providing the resources, by not helping them through the process. When your kid says, I'm willing to work, I'm willing to train, I'm willing to make sure my academics are in order, I'm doing all this, mom or dad, because I want to play at the college level. If that's what they're saying, right then, as a parent, your job is to say, okay, Let me start doing some research. Let me see what I can do to help. How could I impact this decision that you've made to play at the next level? And once you come up with that answer on how you want to impact that decision, it's on you to get it done. Now, first things first, if your athlete comes to you and says, I want to play college sport, and you know they're not committed, they're not disciplined, they're not training hard, they don't want to go to practice, they're struggling with their academics, they don't like getting up in the morning, they don't want to get out of the bed, then I would tell you, don't waste your time. Because the scholarship market and the college market is so much more advanced today that it's so much more competitive, is actually a better word. It's so much more competitive that if an athlete is not fully committed, it's a pretty good chance it's not going to happen. You know, maybe you'll get to walk on or something like that. But even then, even walk on opportunities are so limited and people don't realize it. A college is not obligated to even allow you to walk on as a college athlete. They only have a certain amount of roster spots, period. That's for the scholarship players and the non-scholarship players. So it's not that easy. So if your student athlete is not focused, if you're not locked in, if they're not getting up in the morning and taking care of business, don't waste the time. But if they are, I'm here to tell you, it is your responsibility to provide them with the resources. If you have resources, meaning if you have money, expendable income, they need a trainer. They need a position coach or a skill coach. They need that. They need a strength conditioning program. They need that. They need to make sure they're focusing on recovery, whether it's cold plunge, cryotherapy, deep tissue work, fascia stretch, whatever that looks like. They need that because if they're committed, it's going to be a long road. And you want to, one, keep them healthy. You want to, two, maximize their natural athletic ability. You want to make sure that whatever their gift is, you're maximizing it, taking it to the next level. And they're not going to do that just by going to practice. So if you're committed because they're committed, your commitment can look a little bit different. Now let's talk about what your commitment looks if you don't have the resources, quote unquote money. There's ways to do it. You're probably watching this video on YouTube. So the same way you found this video, you can find videos with training programs, speed development, plyometric training, increase your vertical jump. All these different programs are right on YouTube for free. As a matter of fact, if you go to our phase one ABT, which is our phase one athletic based training, our YouTube channel, we have hundreds of workouts on there, hundreds of training programs. So there's really no excuse. It's just about applying and taking the time to do the research. And once you do that, you're going to be able to provide your student athlete with everything they need. So money is not an excuse. To say you can't afford this or can't afford that or these athletes are doing that is really irrelevant. The question is more, what are you doing? So you need to provide the resources. You have to. When I said earlier, communicating with college coaches, by the time your son or your daughter is about their sophomore year of high school, you better have a game plan with recruiting. You better have an email list of colleges that you're going to communicate with, colleges that you're going to sit down and actually send them an email to introduce your student athlete to that coach. Even if the email could be from you, the email could be from them, but my point is, it's up to you as the parent to make sure they sit down and dedicate the time to do this. Or you dedicate the time to do it. Either way works, but you have to take the initiative. You have to look at the different camps and the different recruiting events and things like that you know are going to be beneficial to your student athlete, and you need to sign up for that. You need to make sure, hey, you have this camp in June or whatever the month is. We got to get ready for this. Let me find out what they're going to be doing at this camp. Let me find out who's going to be there. Let me set up the travel arrangements. Let me do everything that we need to do to make sure we are prepared, because I want you to treat it like you're basically a pro athlete. We got to walk in prepared. We got to walk in and show these coaches that you're the one. You're the one they want. So we have to do these things if we plan on being successful. If we don't care or it doesn't matter or it doesn't mean as much, it's cool. Do your thing. Just keep going to practice, showing up, be great, whatever that means. But if we're really serious about getting this scholarship, getting this exposure, you have to take these steps. You have to. So With that, any parents that are watching this video, that come across this video, there's a reason. You came across this video to hear me give you a little insight on my 20 plus years of experience and what you can do. Now, we also have the opportunity or the ability to help you throughout the process. And help looks however you need it to look. Help could just be a free consultation where we discuss some strategy. I do a little bit of research on your athlete and I tell you what my thoughts are, give you a game plan, and you go execute. Totally free. All you got to do is send me a message. Shoot me a DM, leave me a message, and we'll schedule it. 2, we also have a recruiting assistance program. It's basically a recruiting membership. Or am I a recruiting service? No, I don't consider myself a recruiting service. Here's why. Because when you work with us and you have a recruiting membership, what we're doing is teaching you all the steps to make sure that we are accomplishing that goal of generating exposure. And more importantly, you got somebody that's keeping you accountable. So I'm saying, okay, first we're going to do this. Now we need to make sure your videos, your highlights, your clips are edited and clean and everything looks great. Now we need your athlete bio, your profile. Let's get all your basic information, your height, your weight, all your testing numbers. I'm going to help walk you through that entire process up until delivering that message to colleges. And then I'm going to help you respond and communicate and start to build relationships with colleges. This is what you want to do. And in a perfect world, this starts right around your sophomore year. If you're a little bit late, you can start at your junior year. And I have a handful of athletes that we actually got started their senior year in high school, and we were still able to generate exposure and get them the opportunity to play college sports. So it doesn't mean it's too late. It doesn't mean we're behind. Yes, it does. And I'm going to tell you that on our call. We're behind. However, let's put it all out there and let's see what we got. We can only use the time that we have, right? So we have that opportunity. Aside from that, I would advise you to just continue to research. Continue to find the resources. Continue to do what you did to find this video, right? So option 1, consultation. Let's set it up. Shoot me a DM. This is free. No charge at all. It'll probably be a 30 to 45 minute conversation. I'm going to get some background. I'm going to compile it all in my brain. I'm going to give you my experience and a strategy to execute. Option number 2, send me a message. We can talk about our recruiting membership. That's a monthly membership, low cost, because it's more just about the guidance and the structure and putting some parameters around your recruiting process. Number 3, figure it out. Just keep working, keep figuring it out. Not impossible. Is it easy? No, but it's not impossible. Here's what the last thing I'm going to leave you with. The reason option 1 and option 2 is so valuable is this. Most parents only go through the recruiting process one time. If you're lucky, you go through it twice. If you had 2 kids that were high-level student athletes, maybe you go through it twice, but most, one time. So since we only have one shot, I want you to get it right on the first time. So while you're working through this recruiting process once, I've worked through it 21 times helping other athletes. I also went through it 2 times personally. Coming out of high school, had multiple offers, had some academic issues, didn't understand the academic severity of my GPA and SAT and all that craziness. So I didn't have the opportunity. I could not sign those first 2. Coming out of junior college, had the opportunity to go through the recruiting process for a second time. Since then, I've been through it 21 times with all of my student athletes, which at this stage, we are over 800 athletes have gotten scholarships through our program. Over 500 of those have been Division I athletes. And every single college football season or year, we have multiple athletes in multiple sports playing every single week at the college level. So this is what we do. So option 1 or 2, I can help you through that process. But in either case, let's just keep working, provide the resources. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to continue to give you content on recruiting, NIL opportunities, training, nutrition, everything that's going to help you become a high-level athlete. So as a parent, you want to stay tapped in and make sure you share this with your student athlete. With that said, it's Mike Waters, Phase 1 Elite, Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'll see you on the next one.